Hello, I'm Chrissy Seaton and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is a continuation on information about the month of Elul, which is current at this time. There will be a link to a previous video that I have done about the month of Elul in the year 2022. And I'll place that link in the description box below. So if you haven't already seen it, you'll be able to watch that and then watch this second video about the significance of the month of Elul. So let's proceed on. Now, the month of Elul is very special because it is the lead up to Rosh Hashanah. And as I said, that will be explained in the previous video I did last week. Now, we know that for 11 months of the year, our lives alternate between, the normal ho-hum, run-of-the-mill things that we do from day to day, week to week, etc. And so that goes on for 11 months. But the month of Elul, the 12th month in the Jewish calendar year, is different. And you may or may not have heard an expression that says the king is in the field. So that's basically what I'm going to try to explain and impart some information to you about that in this video. Now, when it says that the king is in the field, it means that the Hashem, our one and only God, is closer to us. Now, I'm just using phraseology that is everyday language here. So he's more approachable. He is closer to us. We're able to communicate more intimately with Hashem during this month. Now, there is lots of information available about it, and most of it refers to the Jewish people. However, there are things that are appropriate and applicable to Noahides, and that's what I want to clarify in this video. So, what do we mean by the expression the king is in the field? Well, let me give you a brief example here. When they're saying the king is in the field, they're meaning Hashem, of course. But let me give you an example that we can all relate to, particularly in Australia and England, is that we have a monarch, our gracious Queen, Queen Elizabeth II. And as you would know, a queen or a king resides in a palace, and they have many rooms and chambers within that palace. And you and I can't just knock on the gates of Buckingham Palace and say, oh, I just want to have morning tea with the Queen, I want to have a little chat with the Queen. You would probably be escorted swiftly from the gateway, and not to mention the security that's there. But let's just remember that sometimes our gracious Majesty, she does visit places in her Commonwealth, and let's say she's in the field with the common people. She will go ahead and shake hands with people, greet them, pass a few words with them, etc. And of course, it's a wonderful experience for her subjects to be able to approach her, to see her close up, to hear the sound of her voice, and see the expressions on her face. And it's a wonderful thrill, and it's something that doesn't happen every day. You've got, it's a wonderful opportunity if you see the Queen in real life when she's on a tour, to wave to her and to speak to her. So with that thought in your mind, I want you now to switch from that story to how I'm going to relate that to the month of Elul. Now, during this month of Elul, when they say the king, they're meaning Hashem, our God. He's in the field. He's out of the palace. He's out of his royal chambers, and he is closer to us. We can relate more intimately. We can see and feel, and it's almost as tangible as if he were walking and greeting us. So this is a very special month for us all mankind, to make those heartfelt connections with Hashem. And part of the process where we evaluate ourselves. We do a self-audit, as I discussed in the previous video on Elul. So Hashem is embodies the very essence of our existence. You know, we are his subjects, and so therefore we're part of his special kingdom. And so during this month of Elul, Hashem makes himself more accessible. And I know English words don't quite describe things properly, but if you just recall the analogy I gave you about the Queen of England coming and greeting her royal subjects when she does a walkabout, then just try and relate to it in that sense, that Hashem is here wandering with us. I mean, he always is, but he's more accessible to us. Therefore, there are things that we do and say that are very important during this period of time, like prayer, meditation, like doing our self-audit, as I explained before. But also it goes further than that, and it's about things like giving charity too. You know, sometimes we all might mean well about donating things or giving charity where it's needed, and we'll say, well, I'm going to do that. I must put a few dollars towards that. Well, now's the time for you to do that if you haven't already done it. All those things benefit you and the rest of mankind. So let's just go on here. So I guess what I'm trying to emulate here is the fact that that veil is lifted that separates Hashem and his universe from us personally. So now that veil's lifted. Now we're kind of face to face with him. So everything we say and do has special meaning for all mankind during this month of Elul. And it is a time when the essence of all he has created, including us most importantly, is like it's all in tune and singing the same tune, or we should be. And that is about making that contact with the source of our creation, our Hashem, the wonderment of it all, resolving to do better things before Rosh Hashanah. And this month is just a glorious time really for us to say, you know, I shouldn't have made that promise or that vow. I know I can't do it or fix it. It's a time to reflect on that and say, look, Hashem, I fell far short of the mark. I shouldn't have done that. It's a time to study Torah that is applicable for Noahides, especially the book of Genesis. The first parts of the book of Genesis are most important and applicable to all mankind. It's a time to maybe spend extra effort and time in contemplation and prayer. There are some psalms and things that we can say that are really meaningful and help us meditate. So when that king comes into the field, we can say that the month of Elul is not an ordinary mundane work month. This is a really special time. It's an increase in joy and acceptance and understanding and planning ahead for the next year. It's an exciting time, albeit that we should be very remorseful for things we didn't do or shouldn't have done, and at the same time joyous in that knowledge that he's in the field, he's accessible to, even more accessible to us than any other time. So let's not waste that. Let's not waste any opportunities to make the most of that. And in the month of Elul, there's this essence and objective of Hashem is more accessible. Everything is more accessible. We can cast off some of those material shackles that we cart around with us, and they often conceal things, distort things, confuse our minds, etc. So, but Hashem, he's there. He's close, and it's just a special time for Noahides to contemplate on this month of Elul. And as I said, the previous video I published last week has some references there. So go and watch that again. But that essence of Hashem being with us, walking in the field with us, is ever so true and ever so comforting, because this is our special opportunity in this month to make restitution for things that we didn't do as well as we should have. It's an opportunity for us to give that charity we've been going to do all this year and haven't done it. It's a time to ask for forgiveness. It's a time to ask Hashem, our loving Father, for some of those things that we've put off doing all year, or we haven't thought about asking for, or praise and thanks that we should have been giving him but didn't. You know, when the Queen goes out, often she's given a bouquet, and she's always very gracious in receiving that. So give yourself in this month of Elul, be that bouquet for Hashem, you know, offer yourself as that bouquet of holiness and concentration and devotion to Hashem. You be the bouquet for Hashem. Now, there are things that we do just have to do, and one of them, of course, is examining our conscience, examining our past year. So don't waste an opportunity. Make sure that you make the most of the time when Hashem is walking in the fields with us. Make sure you're that bouquet he takes in his hands, and make sure it pleases him. It pleases him when you have acknowledged the wrong you've done, been disappointed in some things you did, but also been happy about things that you did. You reflect and think, oh, I did a good job of that. So you're the bouquet Hashem wants to hold and stroke. In the meantime, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and tick the like button if you like the video. Please leave a comment. I'm always happy to read your comments. And in the meantime, I want you to please take care, and God bless.